Hello, friends, and welcome to Star Tears. Today, we honor the lives of 5 extraordinary individuals who passed away on October 21st, 2025. Every life has a story, and every story leaves an imprint on the world. In this episode, we'll explore their journeys, challenges, and triumphs, remembering the moments that defined them and the legacies that will continue to shine long after they're gone. Let's begin with the first of these unforgettable lives. Daniel Suidani was a man whose courage and conviction made him one of the most recognizable political figures in the Solomon Islands and indeed across the Pacific. Born in the late 1970s in the Maleta province, one of the most populous and politically active regions of the Solomon Islands, Suidani's early life was shaped by the struggles and resilience of his community. Growing up, he witnessed firsthand the challenges faced by his people: poverty, political instability, and limited access to infrastructure. These experiences deeply influence his worldview and his determination to serve his province with integrity and independence. Suidani rose to national prominence when he became the premier of Maleta province in 2019. His leadership came at a turbulent time, marked by the Solomon Islands government's controversial decision to switch diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to China. While the central government embraced the new relationship with Beijing, Suidani took a bold and unprecedented stand, openly opposing the move and reaffirming Maleta's loyalty to Taiwan. His decision sparked both admiration and controversy, transforming him into a symbol of defiance and moral conviction. Under Suidani's leadership, Maleta became a province that dared to challenge the central government's authority. He rejected Chinese aid, insisting that his province would not sell its principles for money. Instead, he welcomed development support from Taiwan and Western partners, earning widespread respect among those who valued sovereignty and transparency. His strong stance, however, came at a personal and political cost. He faced significant pressure from the national government, including funding cuts, political isolation, and an eventual attempt to remove him from office. In 2023, amid growing political tension, Suidani was ousted from his premiership after a no-confidence vote in the Maleta Provincial Assembly, an action widely viewed as politically motivated. Despite this setback, he refused to back down. He continued to advocate for accountability, good governance, and the rights of local communities, reminding everyone that leadership was not about power, but about standing for what is right. Daniel Suidani's integrity and independence earned him admiration. Beyond the Solomon Islands, he was often invited to speak at regional forums about self-determination, democracy, and Pacific resilience. To many, he represented a new kind of Pacific leader, one willing to challenge external influence and defend his people's dignity. His name became synonymous with courage, and his voice carried weight in debates about sovereignty and the future of small island nations navigating the pressures of global politics. When news of his passing spread on October 21st, 2025, it sent waves of sadness across the Solomon Islands and the Pacific region. Tributes poured in from local leaders, citizens, and international observers who recognized him as a man of principle, a leader who never compromised his beliefs, even when it cost him politically. In Maleta, vigils were held to honor his life, with thousands gathering to celebrate. The man who had stood up for them when few others would. Zbyšek Sion was one of the most distinctive and uncompromising figures in modern Czech art, a painter whose work reflected both the anguish and the defiant spirit of a generation that lived through war, oppression, and political censorship. Born in 1938 in Polička, Czechoslovakia, Sion grew up amid the turbulence of the Second World War and the communist rise to power. Those early years of instability, fear, and ideological control left an indelible mark on him and would later find expression in his art, powerful, often dark, and deeply emotional. From an early age, Sion showed a strong affinity for drawing and color. He studied at the Academy of Fine Arts in Prague, where he became associated with a group of avant-garde artists who rejected the rigid constraints of socialist realism. the state-approved, artistic style of the communist regime. Alongside contemporaries like Mikuláš Medek and Jiří Balkar, Sion became part of an underground movement that sought to restore artistic freedom and individuality. In Czechoslovak art, his early works from the late 1950s and early 1960s were abstract, filled with intense colors and spontaneous gestures that spoke of emotional turmoil and rebellion. Later, as the political climate grew harsher, Sion shifted toward surrealist and existential themes, using distorted figures, ghostly faces, and fragmented spaces to express fear, despair, and the absurdity of human existence under authoritarian rule. His art was not only a visual experience, it was a form of resistance, a silent protest against conformity and control. Sion's refusal to conform came at a cost. During the normalization period following the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1961, he was banned from exhibiting publicly. For years, his work existed only in private collections, underground exhibitions, and the memory of those who knew him personally. Yet, he never stopped painting. Even in isolation, he continued to explore the depths of the human soul, painting as if each brushstroke were an act of survival. When democracy returned after 1989, Sion finally received the recognition he had long deserved. Exhibitions of his work were held across the Czech Republic and Europe, and art critics hailed him as one of the key figures who bridged Czech modernism and post-war avant-garde art. His paintings were not only powerful for their technique but also for their moral depth, a reflection of a man who had endured censorship but never allowed it to define him. Zbyšek Sion's art often balanced between despair and hope. He believed that through creation, even in dark times, there was a way to preserve truth and humanity. His canvases spoke of pain, fear, and alienation, yet beneath them lay a quiet resilience, a belief in the endurance of the human spirit. To those who studied his work, Sion was not just a painter but a philosopher of existence, someone who turned trauma into beauty and protest into poetry. When he passed away on October 21, 2025, tributes poured in from across the Czech art world. Curators, fellow artists, and students remembered him as a mentor, a visionary, and a man who remained true to his principles through some of the darkest chapters of his country's history. Abdelkader Moutaa was one of Morocco's most respected and beloved actors, a man whose talent, warmth, and authenticity helped define Moroccan cinema and theater for more than half a century. His life was a journey through art, culture, and resilience, one that reflected not only his personal dedication to performance, but also the evolution of Moroccan storytelling itself. Born in Casablanca in 1939, Abdelkader Moutaa discovered his love for the stage at a young age. Growing up in a rapidly changing Morocco on the eve of independence, he witnessed a nation searching for its identity. Theater became, for him, a space of freedom, a way to give voice to the hopes and struggles of ordinary people. He joined local theater troupes in his youth, immersing himself in classical Arabic drama, folk plays, and contemporary works that explored the Moroccan condition with humor and depth. By the 1960s, Abdelkader Moutaa had already become a prominent figure in Morocco's vibrant theatrical scene. His commanding presence, expressive face, and natural delivery made him a favorite among audiences. He was known for his ability to move seamlessly between comedy and tragedy, one moment eliciting laughter, the next evoking tears. For him, acting was not merely performance, it was a calling, a reflection of the human soul. Moutaa's transition from stage to screen came at a time when Moroccan cinema was finding its voice. He made his mark in films such as Wekma, 1970, widely considered one of the greatest Moroccan films ever made. Directed by Hamid Benani, Wekma explored themes of alienation and social struggle, and Moutaa's nuanced performance helped establish the film as a cornerstone of Moroccan modern cinema. Later, he appeared in The Violent Silence, Le Silence Violent, where his portrayal of deep moral conflict and human vulnerability earned critical acclaim. Throughout his long career, Abdelkader Moutaa became more than an actor. he became a cultural institution. He mentored younger performers, advocated for the development of Moroccan film, and consistently championed authenticity in storytelling. He believed that art should reflect the people, their joys, sorrows, humor, and humanity. This philosophy made him a figure of great respect not only in Morocco but across the Arab world. Despite his fame, Moutaa was known for his humility and simple lifestyle. Those who knew him personally described him as kind, thoughtful, and deeply spiritual. He often spoke about how acting was a form of empathy, a way to understand the hearts of others. Even in his later years, as health challenges slowed him down, he continued to participate in artistic projects, support cultural initiatives, and attend film festivals as an honored guest. When Abdelkader Moutaa passed away on October 21, 2025, Morocco mourned the loss of one of its true icons. Tributes came from filmmakers, actors, politicians, and fans who had grown up watching his performances. The Moroccan Ministry of Culture released a statement praising him as a national treasure, a man whose art carried the voice of the people. Social media was flooded with clips of his most famous roles, and across the country, theaters dimmed their lights in his honor. Dionysis Savvopoulos was one of Greece's greatest cultural icons, a singer, songwriter, poet, and political voice whose art chronicled the soul of a nation through decades of transformation, struggle, and hope. To speak of Savvopoulos is to speak of modern Greek identity itself, a tapestry of tradition and rebellion, laughter and lament, ancient poetry and street protest. For more than 60 years, his voice, warm, witty, and wise, carried the story of Greece to its people and to the world. He was born in Thessaloniki in 1944, during one of the darkest periods of Greek history, as the country endured the hardships of Nazi occupation. Growing up in the aftermath of war and the Greek Civil War, Savvopoulos absorbed the turbulence and contradictions of his homeland, the tension between East and West, the pain of division, the pride of survival. His parents hoped he would become a lawyer, and he did, briefly, study law at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. But even as a student, it was clear that his destiny lay elsewhere. He was drawn to music, poetry, and the vibrant world of ideas that pulsed beneath the surface of everyday Greek life. In the early 1960s, Savvopoulos moved to Athens, the city that would become both his muse and his stage. There, amid smoky cafes, political arguments, and a restless youth culture, he began performing his own songs. His style was unlike anything Greece had heard before. He blended folk melodies with poetic lyrics, rock rhythms with Byzantine cadences, and biting satire with deep compassion. Influenced by Western icons like Bob Dylan and George Brassens, and by traditional Greek troubadours, Savvopoulos created something, entirely new music that was both profoundly local and cosmopolitan. His debut album, Fortigo, 1966, introduced him as a sharp observer of society and politics, unafraid to challenge authority through metaphor and allegory. As Greece slipped into dictatorship in 1967, his art became a quiet act of resistance. During the military junta, 1967-1974, censorship silenced many voices, but Savvopoulos found ways to speak truth through poetry. His songs, full of irony and coded language, captured the longing for freedom that lived in the hearts of millions. He was briefly imprisoned for his political views, an experience that deepened his understanding of both human fragility and courage. After the fall of the junta, Savvopoulos became a symbol of the rebirth of Greek democracy. His concerts were not just performances. They were celebrations of freedom. In the late 1970s and 1980s, his albums Tu Perivoli to Trilo, The He, Madman's Garden, and Vromiko Somi, Dirty Bread, solidified his reputation as Greece's foremost musical poet. He sang about workers, wanderers, dreamers, and broken lovers, ordinary people trying to make sense of a rapidly changing world. His lyrics blended ancient mythology with political commentary, always grounded in a deep love for his country and its contradictions. Throughout his career, Dionysis Savvopoulos remained an artist of paradox. He could be irreverent and deeply spiritual, cynical and tender, a critic of his homeland and its fiercest defender. His voice carried the wisdom of an old storyteller and the playfulness of a street performer as Greece entered the modern era, from the optimism of EU membership to the despair of economic crisis. Savvopoulos continued to speak to the people, not as a politician but as a witness to the human condition. He also became an intellectual figure in Greek public life, a frequent presence in interviews, documentaries, and cultural discussions. Younger generations saw him as a mentor, a man who bridged the past and the present, reminding Greece of its ability to endure through art, laughter, and song. His lyrics were studied in schools. His concerts filled stadiums. His words became part of the Greek vocabulary. In his later years, Savvopoulos reflected more openly on faith, aging, and the meaning of legacy. His voice, though softer, carried the same warmth and humor that had enchanted audiences for decades. He often said that the role of the artist was not to offer answers, but to ask better questions about love, justice, and identity. When Dionysis Savvopoulos passed away on October 21, 2025, Greece fell silent. Television stations replayed his concerts. Radios across the country filled the air with his songs. In Athens, crowds gathered in Syntama Square to sing to Mikro Santiri and Zempekiko, Tis Evdokias, songs that had become part of Greece's collective soul. Political leaders, artists, and ordinary citizens spoke of him not only as a musician, but as a conscience of the nation. Davey Langit was a Filipino singer-songwriter, musician, and composer whose voice, humor, and songwriting talent made him one of the most beloved figures in the Philippines' modern music scene. Known for his sincerity and depth, Davey had a gift for turning simple words into melodies that spoke to the heart songs, about love, resilience, and the everyday beauty of Filipino life. He was born on October 20th, 1986 in Baguio City, Philippines. From a young age, Davey showed a strong passion for music. He learned to play the guitar as a teenager and quickly began writing his own songs, not for fame, but to express what he felt. His early influences included both Filipino artists and international acts, blending folk, pop, and acoustic styles into something uniquely his own. Davey rose to prominence when he became a contestant on Pinoy Dream Academy, a television music reality show that introduced many talented singers to the public. Though he didn't win, he captured the hearts of viewers across the country with his soulful performances and humble personality. After the show, he continued to pursue music not just as a performer, but as a songwriter, a creator of stories set to sound. He became known for writing heartfelt and relatable songs that connected with people from all walks of life. One of his most celebrated compositions was the Selfie song, which went viral for its humor and catchy tune. But behind the fun and lighthearted hits, Davey was also deeply introspective, writing ballads and acoustic songs that explored love, loss, and hope with honesty and emotion. As a musician, Davey Langit wore many hats: performer, composer, arranger, and collaborator. He worked with some of the biggest names in the Filipino music industry, helping craft hits for other artists while also continuing his solo work. His versatility and creativity earned him respect among peers and fans alike. Beyond his career, Davey was known for his kindness and wit. Friends described him as a gentle soul who loved making people laugh, someone who would always lend a hand or share advice with younger musicians. He had a down-to-earth charm that made him approachable, whether he was performing on stage or chatting online with fans. Throughout his life, Davey continued to evolve as an artist. He explored new sounds and genres, but always with authenticity, staying true to who he was and what he wanted to say. His performances, whether on TV, in small gigs, or online, were filled with warmth and sincerity. When Davey Langit passed away on October 21, 2025, at the age of 39, the Filipino music community was stunned and heartbroken. Tributes flooded social media as fans, fellow musicians, and friends shared stories of how his songs had touched their lives. Radio stations played his hits in remembrance, while colleagues spoke of his generosity and brilliance as both a musician and a person. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel. Many more stories await.